Hello, good people. Good morning from Dhaka, Bangladesh. Welcome back to the channel. Time is around 3:30 here in Dhaka, and I'm wearing a vintage watch because I'm going to be talking about a little bit of a old style, old school fragrances. Okay, and not to say just old school or powerhouses. These are kind of fragrances when you grow into your hobby for a couple of years, and this is what happened with me. I'll tell you my personal journey. And these are kind of fragrance I would never wear when I started my journey. I would wear something safe, citrusy, playful, whatever is the trend. So I am from the era when I grew up. It's mostly about that Lamal, Boss Bottle, Lacoste Purum, Armani Code. This was my era. And after that, it changed a little bit. Then it came to Fahrenheit, then Durham Intense. Trend changed. And there was a time fragrance like Aqua di Gio, CK1, they ruled, right? So there are different eras. So every single decade, 70s, 80s, 90s, I'm not going to talk about any particular era, but in my journey, what happened was from citrus fresh, I went to sweeter fragrances. And from sweeter, I went a little bit spicy, like Bulgari Man in Black, Spice Bomb type, playful. Then my taste sort of moved to oud. I went obsessed with oud. I used oud for a while. I bought many oud-based perfumes, maybe Western or Middle Eastern or pure oud form. Okay, that was one era. Then I went to powerhouses one day. It started off with something like Paco Rabanne Purum or maybe something like One Man Show Oud Edition. So different phases. So today I just want to do one video because after if I talk a lot, my system disturbs and I get feel like choking. I think the system is pretty much bad, and the weather once again. If you do not live here, you would not know how bad the weather is. People are dying of heat stroke, while having a tea. Young people, 30-year-old people, they're just like losing their lives because the weather is that bad. So anyway, coming back to this, I have set up 12 fragrances. I have many more fragrances like this type, but I want to show you my appreciation and love for some of these because some of these I believe are still very wearable. And I think if you are tired of the same sweet trend which smells like bubblegum everywhere or iris everywhere, maybe you can try these. Maybe you to regrow your interest and grow some hair on your chest. And one last thing I would like to say, I had a message from one of our reviewers called Chad, Gentleman's Journey. He is my big brother. He told me, thank you for not doing any dirty work. And what does it mean? Not buying subs. Okay, one thing. A second thing, not doing you know, uh, those videos, panty droppers, this and that. I would never do videos like that. And I feel people are, independent to watch whatever you like and whatever you want to do reviews. But ask those reviewers who do this list, would they give up their flower to you if you use their perfumes? No, they are just sellers. They are just agents. They are getting free perfumes and money to promote the products. That's why they put it like that. Fragrances do not ensure any of that love. Women, if you think you are living in a delusional world, fragrances are meant to be enjoyed on their own. Okay, so let's go one by one. First fragrance I'm going to show you is this one, Givenchy Gentleman, and this is a 1971 version. But this, hold on. Yeah, sometimes the voice gets blocked. Okay, so this is basically more newer version of that, but the older formulation used to have this silver neck here, which Dan Norton has. So this I bought a few years back, like 5-6 years back, and now it's getting harder to find. This is discontinued due to the new Givenchy Gentleman line, which they released, and they have their own flankers, nice set of flankers. Then they had Gentleman only line, but this is harder to find. I think maybe they have put this in a more premium line, but this bottle, if you see somewhere, give it a try. This was not as expensive as some of the other Givenchys that I got back in the days for $45 or so. This is kind of like a little bit animalic, okay, but it has a honey. It has, I think, what is the other note? The honey. This definitely you can smell the honey, but I think maybe leather. And most of this fragrance, I don't remember all the notes, but I'll tell you, it smells citrusy, masculine, and the dry down is very confident. It's like a movie you were watching from 80s or 90s. Okay, so why do you want to wear or dress like that? Because this again is the maturity, right? I really like the way this fragrance smells, especially in winter. Givenchy Gentleman 71 version. Next one is again not a vintage, but this bottle is now discontinued and they released it under new bottle, which is called Boss Number 1 by Hugo Boss. So this fragrance, you see the bottle is almost full and very few ml missing, like 2 ml perhaps missing, because I don't reach for it every day. Some of these fragrances, perhaps I'm not the biggest fan, but I keep them out of respect. This one fragrance, I felt my collection wouldn't be complete if I did not have the number one Boss, right? This is their number one. Of course, in my world, Boss bottle is my number one, but this again, a very, in a way, it's animalic, it's powerful. I think maybe there's oak moss, leather, all this like floral back in the days, however they made perfumes. It smells like old days gangsters. Okay, so this is pure respect. If you especially like those like Sopranos, this smells like those TV serials. Okay, or good smellers, or good smeller, no, good fellas, right? Or Casino, if you know those movies, these are themed like that. So these are very masculine, manly perfumes. Give it a try. Okay, it's a nice little fragrance for winter. Boss number one. Number 10, Versace L'Homme. This one, I hated this fragrance when I got it at first in Malaysia, 2016. I saw it for being a little bit cheaper than other Versace. It was on offer for 25 ringgit, I think, something like that. Or sorry, 125 ringgit, yeah. That translates to something like $30, which is a very good value back in the days, because most of the Versace will cost you, in Malaysia at least, like 60, 70, $80, because most of the perfumes are expensive there. But I bought this, and I bought Versace Dreamer. I love Versace Dreamer, but this never really grew on me. I gave away my bottle to my father when I came to Bangladesh, and in time, my nose started changing, and I started, craving for more challenging stuff. This is one of those harsh kind of a challenging fragrance, and it's definitely not from this era. It smells dated, and that's what I like about it. The lemony opening, followed by that, again, that animalic tone at the base. Again, I don't remember all the notes, but this has leather. So lemon leather combination is very weird, and it smells very animalic on the dry down. But once you start getting used to it, you'll enjoy this immensely. For winter, it's good. Even in summer, it's very, very good perfume. Okay, Versace L'Homme. It's again for mature people. Next one is a soothing one, not as challenging. It's more like a herbal, fresh, citrusy green perfume, which I like. If you like live jazz, those perfumes, you'd like Cerruti 1881. Once again, I had this fragrance back in the days. I did not review it, sold it off. Later, I regretted and bought it again. I reviewed like 3 from this house. Sorry, I cannot keep pausing the video. So I got this. This is actually still affordable. You can get this under 40 bucks now in Bangladesh. I really like the way it's so soothing. It's just easy to wear. The opening, it's kind of like reminds me of Paco Rabanne Excess, if you know the foresty green feel. It has that herbal, citrusy freshness. And this fragrance, even though it's mature, anybody can wear this. And if you want to have a signature scent, apart from your sweet, clubbing, or leather tobacco, maybe you can keep this for summers and spring days. Amazing fragrance. Check out my review on it. This is really, really a soothing fragrance. Longevity is solid, not bad. Okay. Next one is a big fragrance in community. I consider this one of the biggest fragrances, one of the iconic. If you see the bottle, you know from 1 mile, this is a great fragrance. This is called Safari by Ralph Lauren. Take a look at the bottle. Okay. This looks like one of the most premium whiskey bottles that you find in a 5-star, 6-star hotel. Even the cap. Okay. This thing reminds me of a Mitsubishi Pajero, like back in the days, what's called Shogun, in Canada. So they used to have these manual gearboxes and stuff, and you see the wooden interior. This one reminds me of that. I have another Ralph Lauren perfume coming up. These are called fragrances. Sandalwood, beautiful, man. Leather, some up there, some orangey touches. I loved it from the beginning. I don't know how, and it's a very mature fragrance for sure. It has good longevity, but the older version, I think Cosmere version, if I could find, I would love that, because that one is in beast mode. This one's still 7-8 good hours. Great fragrance as signature scent. If you like woody fragrances, try this. Okay, Ralph Lauren Safari. Take a look at that bottle. It's a gorgeous bottle. Next one I'm going to show you is a fragrance that perhaps one of my most challenging perfumes till today. I sometimes love it, sometimes I cannot pull it off. The other one, Ralph Lauren I'm talking about, this is Polo Green. So I do have the old one, which is called Modern Reserve. I have it inside, I just realized, but that one I did not find as challenging as this. Okay, this modern interpretation of Polo Green or Modern Reserve, it is harsh, and it's just no way I can call this ever a friendly perfume. When you spray this for the first time, you're greeted with this strong green, woody, leathery texture, which is like, it will scare you. If you never smell it, it will scare you. It's nothing like Polo Blue, Polo Red, Polo Black. Those perfumes are darlings, in front of this. But as the dry down happens, this thing becomes I think one of the best fragrances, if man can wear in the green genre. Okay. Even though it's harsh one, I do hate fragrance like Jaguar for men, the green one. But this one I always kept. I had a bottle, I sold it, I bought it again. I reach for this mostly in winters, like morning, a little bit fog. It's gonna be like a nice morning walk, and I just want to smell like I don't want to care for anybody's compliments. Someone would come up to me and say, "Hey, you smell nice." Don't care for it. This is the mood. Okay, Polo Green by Ralph Lauren. So the next one, let me do a little bit switch up because I think I made a mistake by keeping them a little bit here and there. Anyway, so next one is gonna be the Azzaro fragrance. This is called Azzaro Purom. Sorry, a little bit of dust. So this one is a modern take. I do have a semi-vintage of this that smells very different, but this modern one I still bought for a reason. This one it's more wearable. Definitely the manhood has been chopped from this perfume, which is not a bad thing. From modern era, if you want to wear something like barber shop, if you like Zino Davidoff, this is more polished version of those perfumes. Okay, this has cinnamon, this has orange, some citrusy up top, and then a little bit of a herbal dry down, but the cinnamon is very prominent. So it's a spicy, woody, masculine perfume. Maybe there are some very mild, like it's not that animalic, but I really enjoyable. This one smells more like their summer version. I remember one thing I'll tell you. Some people did say like some of these fragrances can all smell like same after a while, and it's true. Some of the powerhouses tend to smell like, always like uh, oak moss, lavender, like a barber shop. Yeah, but that's the beauty of the game for me. Okay, Azzaro Purom is the next one. Sorry. So the number five, we go all the way quickly. Number five, I put Boucheron Purom, and this is the ADV version. I do love Jaipur more than this from the same house, and I think that both these fragrances are great. This is a fragrance for people in UK. I've seen certain reviewers who are mature and they love this fragrance. Carl Pearson, I love that guy's channel. Some of the other reviewers who are OGs, okay. So maybe Dan Norton, guys like them, okay. So maybe Matt, fragrance Matt. Some of the names I do not remember at this point, but you know those OGs. If you see the way they speak about, about these fragrances, like sorry, like they literally have so much respect. This is kind of fragrance you smell and you say, oh, respect. It opens up kind of like spicy citrus, old age citrus like the Versace Homme, but it goes kind of like a strong spicy masculine scent on the dry down, a little bit powdery. Jaipur has a little bit of a sweetness. This one offers less sweetness, but when you wear this, 8 to 10 hours of sheer like masculinity. Okay, if it's a toxic masculinity, I do not know, but this one, if you just want to wear it in a cold day, imagine like you dressed up really well, classy, going to a restaurant, but you don't want to wear something like a Dior Intense because it's kind of like a metrosexual. So you want to really man it up. This is the fragrance. Okay, so give it a try. The EDP is more longer lasting and very classy looking, vintage kind of bottles. Okay, Boucheron Purom EDP. Number four, big fragrance in my journey, or my first fragrance in my journey, CK Obsession for Him. This is a fragrance everybody should have in their collection. Very affordable. CK House, you guys know, it's not expensive, and 200 ml will cost you nothing literally compared to other prices. And this fragrance is spicy. I get leather from this, sometimes booziness, but this one doesn't have all those. This one has mostly amber, spices, fairy, man. Whatever the formulation they made with this perfume, it smells like nothing else out there. Even in the whole 12 that I'm showing you, this one stands out. Different decent performer, but not like back in the days. CK Obsession, if you can find a vintage, get it. This one, even they used to trap tigers or tigresses in India. That's what I heard, but I don't know how true that is. This is a man's fragrance. Okay, this is a, like, I would imagine any great movie star who would wear this, like Harrison Ford, could be a signature scent for them. CK Obsession for Him. Even the women's one is great. Number three, YSL Opium. This is the EDP version, little bottle that I have. I have the box figure with me. Very lucky for me, I picked it up from one of the brothers who sold it to me for very good price. You cannot find these bottles anymore. Okay, even the EDT is getting harder to find. This one, what a beauty this is. What a fragrance. I did not understand this first 4 years of my journey. I keep sniffing it, didn't get it. This one has notes like blackcurrant, star anise, pepper, galanga, bourbon vanilla, tolu balsam, and atlas cedar. So basically what you get is a spicy and vanilla, and you get really confused. What is the star anise doing here? Same concept as Lance de Guerlain. This is more complex than that. They both share some notes. But once you understand the concept of this perfume, there's just no going back. If you could find backup bottles, get it now. 10 years from now, 20 years from now, you can consider this as your pride. Okay, so this is number 3. YSL Opium, Purom, EDP. EDT also is good, but EDP is longer lasting. Number 2, one of my signature scents that started this journey for me. Paco Rabanne Purom. Recently got a backup bottle of 200 ml. The bottle is kind of ugly with this. I wish they came with a proper sprayer. This is removable and you can put a cap back. It's okay, no problem. The juice in there, green, vanilla, beast mode, masculinity. Animalic, yes, but again, that someone who owns like a rugged SUV 4x4, go camping, rough and tough guys. Okay, outdoorsy. This is one of the best fragrances in the early days of fall. Okay, Paco Rabanne Purom, amazing. This one I consider so much better than Polo Green, more wearable. Number 1, I'm going to show you and shock you a little bit because this fragrance is different from this list, but it still belongs here. This perfume, need to get a backup bottle though, was definitely an experience because when I got this for the first time, I applied it. Wherever I went, it created such huge impact. I used to wear a lot of it, but nowadays less. This is one of the best vetiver based perfumes ever, which is called Nishane Sultan Vetiver. I have this much juice left on my 50 ml. One of the best Nishane perfumes I ever bought. Period. If not the best. Maybe my number 1 is this. They use literally like 3 to 4 types of vetiver in there, and it has some neroli or something up there. Forgot the exact note. It is kind of sweet. It has something in the opening which is very pleasant, but as time progresses, this becomes bigger and bigger. It like radiates like for hours, like at least 1 kilometer away or something like that. Huge scent trail. This they should release at 200 ml so people can buy and keep there for collection for many years. It's a shame it's only 50 ml. This is a power pack fragrance. This is the strongest fragrance in this whole list. This is why it deserves the spot. One of the most masculine. If you have this, you don't need any other vetiver based perfume. This is the best, literally. Okay, Sultan Vetiver by Nishane. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you appreciate. I'm sorry, this is not my real voice. It's just broken down. What can we do? We cannot change weathers, but we can try. So take care, guys, and stay healthy. Do not fall sick. See you soon, and take care. Bye bye.